Hi, my name is Emily Wilson, and I'm a junior here at the University of Arkansas. I'm a childhood education major, and I hope to become an elementary school teacher one day. Right now, I am at the Crystal Bridges Museum in Bentonville, Arkansas, and I'm going to be showing you Rosie the Riveter, painted by Norman Rockwell.
This image first appeared on the cover of the Saturday Evening Post on May 29, 1943, on the dawn of the Second World War. Factories were being built to help the United States war effort, producing things like airplanes and weapons. The companies of these factories soon realized they would have to start hiring women due to many of the able-bodied men leaving to fight in the war. Rosie the Riveter was part of the United States propaganda campaign selling the war effort and luring women into working. This fictional character came to symbolize the millions of real women going to work in U.S. factories and plants during the time of war. Later, Rosie also became the picture used for women's civil rights. Norman Rockwell was not considered anything but an illustrator in his time, and Rosie the Riveter was only propaganda, nothing to actually be studied as art. However, his methodologies are now well recognized and respected. It is obvious that Rockwell enjoyed and had knowledge of how to use color. In Rosie the Riveter, the intensity of the colors of the flag are very muted in comparison to the character of Rosie, whose red hair and lips especially stand out, bringing out her more feminine qualities. Obviously, the theme is one of nationalism, shown by the patriotic American colors, her patriotic badges across the bib of her overalls. Also, if you'll notice, Rosie's foot is placed on top of an old copy of Adolf Hitler's Mein Kampf. This must have given Rosie's beautiful features, paired with her patriotic man-like body, must have given inspiration to women in the workforce. An artist's intentions, I'm sure, is not to copy a style from another artist. However, I assume it would be difficult not to draw some inspiration from the past artist. What is beautiful about this, though, is that each artist can use similar styles to make their own unique pieces of art. Rockwell's Rosie the Riveter is idealized realism. Rosie's body is relatively realistic. There's nothing too abstract or out of place. However, no woman actually has such strong and man-like of a body. Her hands and feet are especially idealized, with their large size, perhaps portraying the power and strength the U.S. government needed the American women to be at the time. Crystal Bridges pointed out one of the most obvious inspirations that Rockwell no doubt drew from Michelangelo's Isaiah from the ceiling of the Sixtine Chapel. The body positioning is almost identical between Isaiah and Rosie the Riveter. It's very interesting. Rockwell also appears to have been influenced by the turn-of-the-century American painter John Singer Sargent in his use of light and color. Sargent did not allow form to dissolve into light, as did the French Impressionist. This use of light is also how Rockwell's paintings can be described. In this particular painting, the character of Rosie is similar to the images of the Three Women at the Spring by Pablo Picasso, created about 20 years before Rosie the Riveter. Both of these paintings portray women with large tube-like arms and much larger hands when compared to the rest of their bodies, pairing beauty with these strong male features. I chose this piece because I've always loved and admired Norman Rockwell's work and how he portrayed much of American history. I love the way his paintings can take a viewer back to a different time and place in history. One of my favorite times in history is during the time of World War II. I love the way the country pulled together in patriotism, and Rosie the Riveter is a great representation of that nationalism. She represents a new era for women, an era where women are encouraged to no longer just take care of the family, but to be part of the working world and help in the war efforts. Norman Rockwell's art served to help define the American people and their values of his time. He had the ability to capture a moment of American life with great technical ability and wit. His work recalls a time in American history, just as many great works of art reflect their own times. For this reason, Rockwell undoubtedly deserves a place in art history.
All the day long, whether rain or shine, she's a part of the assembly line. She's making history, working for victory. Rosie